So this is the walk to the makolet. A little bit of the long walk. I was a tad bit afraid to go the other way because, well, for one thing, there's a dog that barks that way. And also just for some change of scenery, go this way. It's been a while since I went this way. Although I do come back this way on the bus, typically from Jerusalem. Nice corned beef sandwich, huh? Yep. Not really much else to do. I mean, get on a bus and go to New Delhi and get a 40 shekel sandwich with a quarter of the meat. Could go out to sushi and pay an exorbitant fee for somebody to make rice with raw fish. Let's see what else there is. There's pasta places. So, let's say a 5 or 10 shekel pasta package, of which you'd really only get, maybe half or a third in your portion, plus some vegetables or cheese or meat, depending on the place you go to, for like 30 shek. There's also Thai, which is basically like ramen noodles or Thai noodles or whatever, plus a few morsels of meat and a few morsels of vegetables and a lot of soy sauce or teriyaki for like 50 or 60 shek, which could be filling. I mean, I guess it would make for a nice date night, want to impress somebody, but the truth is, you factor in preparation time plus cleanup, it's worth the 50 or 60 versus making it at home. Let's see what else there is. Here's focaccia, which has this thing called what's it called? Carpaccio, which is like raw meat made a certain way. I don't know how much it costs because I've never gotten it. Oh joy. Carved off. And let's see. It's a relatively small yeshuv. I mean, you can walk around the entire yeshuv except for like the new section, give or take a half an hour. You factor in the new section, kind of doubles it. There's not much there. There's not much in the whole yeshuv. It's basically just houses. There's one shopping center with a grocery store, a pizza shop, and a place you can get lottery tickets. I think one place sells like soccer balls or something. I don't know, maybe a couple household supplies. It's a very small place. And it's only a 15-minute bus ride to a bigger shopping center, which has much more of your day-to-day needs. It's got quite a few shuls. None of them with is it? A geffen?
Yeah.
אין נמצא.
Really?
אני לא שמעתי על זה אף פעם. Let's see. So there's lots of shuls, but none of them for like English speakers. I've asked a few people I know here who speak English, and there doesn't seem to be an English community per se. Although it is Israel, so Hebrew is the primary language. Though collecting on the steps, I hear every language there is. Today there were some Ethiopian Christians, and I hear French and Russian every day, Hebrew, English. But that's not in this yeshuv necessarily. I mean, in the yeshuv itself, I have heard many languages. I mean, I've definitely heard Russian, heard English, I've heard Hebrew, I've seen some people who possibly are Ethiopian. I sat next to I don't know if she's a girl or a woman. She's in the army, so she's got to be at least 18. But at 18, is she a girl or a woman? I have no idea. Logically, she's a woman, but according to, normal human standards, I don't know if that's a girl or a woman. Anyways, I mean, she definitely looked like a woman, but, a young woman. A very, very young woman. I don't mean this precariously, is that the right word, to demean her, but she reminded me of this woman who used to come clean my mother's house, also my cousin's house, once a week, Joan, who supposedly had been cleaning my mother's house so far back that she even changed my diapers, which would mean that she'd been cleaning my mother's house, assuming she still is, for 40 years. I don't know if she still is, but she used to. I know she did take a break for a while, whether she was fired or had to take personal time, and there was a Polish woman who supposedly, allegedly, stole some of the cutlery, some of the silverware. Anyways, I mean, she just had a similar body type. And she was not Ethiopian. She told me that her mother was American, and her father was, one of her parents was American, and one of them was Moroccan. So, if the door's a Moroccan, don't come a knocking. Sorry, that's just a stupid little joke that means nothing. So this is just one of the ways to go to the makolet, walking around the town. Apparently this is call and eat and eat. It's one of the bus stops. If I wake up here from a nap, I best stay awake because it's only 2 or 3 more stops until I get to my cousin's house. And at least once I have dozed off completely until the bus was actually leaving the yeshuv again on its way to the Rami Levi, the Ezer Tasi Shar Binyamin. It's a nice neighborhood. I mean, if I had my own place, the big screen TV and a wife and a whole bunch of buddies, and could have like a once a week poker night and once a week barbecue, and get up every morning, go to the hotel at Shachris, come back, have breakfast with my wife, or come with me. If we had kids, you have to get them up and ready. There's none of this dilly-dallying until 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock sometimes. Kids got to get ready for school. They got to be in school by, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock. I mean, some days I am up earlier, but it just doesn't seem to matter. All the women I meet just reject me completely right away. It's like, let's just see this guy collecting stuff, and I'm like, no. Which ironically, when I first started doing this, I used to make signs. I had all sorts of different signs. I would make new signs every day. I get cardboard from like Coca-Cola shipments to the stores in the old city. And this guy, Elia Chaim, he would find me cardboard, and sometimes I would use it as a cushion on the metal bench, and sometimes I would just plain out make a sign on it. Hey, fall about Zushali, where's my soulmate? Donations, please contribute, stuff like that. I gave up on it. I mean, especially since they removed the bench and started working on the elevator, which still not completed. I mean, I've been here 4.5 years, and they've been talking about it and working on it. People say another 10 years, another 5 years, another 3 years, another 20 years. Who knows? You never know. This coming winter, this coming summer, who knows? Some of these streets I do not believe I've ever walked on. Like this one right here. I don't believe I've ever walked on it. Although I guarantee you that over the course of 4.5 years, I've probably seen every single person who lives here. Well, it's not true. They're probably new people, unless they've gone straight to the Kotel. But anybody who's an old-time resident in Israel who's gone to the Kotel in the last 4.5 years, I've probably encountered them. Whether we've exchanged words or not is a whole other story. Some people who grown accustomed to me and accept me, and some people who grown to disdain me, some people who don't care one way or the other, and This one guy, he looks like Andy Garcia. He gives me this great big smile, and I actually saw him yesterday or 2 days ago. And I was like, you know, when's Al Pacino getting here? When's Robert De Niro getting here? And I was like, let's get the whole Godfather crew together. This guy's not actually Andy Garcia. His name is Avi Hayo, and he runs Hallelujah Tours. He's a tour guide. That's Hallelujah with a J. You can hallelujah.com or .org or whatever. If you're interested in a tour, he does tours. And he looks like Andy Garcia. Happier one. I don't know where he's from. I think he speaks multiple languages. Maybe he's South American or something. I don't know. Nice guy. Gives me a shekel or two every time he comes by. Let's see. Almost at the makolet. It's about 5 minutes from where I currently am. And my voice has not gotten worse in the last year. Although I have been coughing a lot more. And also smoking a lot more. It's a nice park. I think this is maybe the... No, it's not. I don't know. I hung out with the Ribnitzer for like an hour or two in one of these parks. I was hung out with this woman, Millie. That was like two years ago. People, all kinds of people around. Religious, secular, Jewish, not Jewish. Oh, the old post office. On the other side, you get an actual post office. Has hours that you can come pick up packages. Speaking of which, I'm expecting a package tomorrow or the next day. A buddy of mine from back in Toronto is sending me pants and shirts. And another acquaintance of mine, who I've never met actually, did a family tree online with people he's related to and similar names. Like my mother's maiden name was Farbiash, so he did a whole section on the Farbiars and the Farbiashes. And if you take a look at tressman.co.uk under American Farbiars, you'll find me there. Family number 3 or family number 4. I'm one of the last guys listed. Although oddly enough, not American Canadian. No American lineage in my family. I do have aunts and uncles on my what do you call it? My father's parents' side who, moved to the U.S. But direct line. Mother's side came from Poland to Canada. Father's side came 140 odd years ago from Grodno, Belarus to Canada. Stayed there until I moved to Israel. Although these days I'm contemplating moving back to Canada just for the euthanasia laws. Apparently it's legal to commit suicide in Canada now. And if it's physician assisted, I mean, life is tough. It wasn't easy for me in Canada. I can't say it's Israel. It sucks. So there's one store that has all sorts of knickknacks. Yeah. I thought I saw soccer balls, but maybe that was... Oh, there's some balls-looking things. There's the pizza shop. And coming up is the grocery store, where I hope to get some corned beef or pastrami and some bread. They don't really have American pickles here. Well, it doesn't really go in a corned beef or pastrami sandwich. So, yeah. So, yeah. I'm gonna turn it off now.